All right, everybody. Good afternoon, V Nation. We appreciate everybody's attendance at today's press conference. On behalf of the Department of Collegiate Athletics, it's our pleasure to welcome each of you to today's press conference to officially announce our new head men's basketball coach, Lou Hill, and his family, his wife Renee, and his children, LJ and L. Welcome to the Valley. Best part about the cute one right here is she's my daughter's age, so she got a new friend right off the bat. You know, our number one goal when we ran this national search was to run a very efficient search, be very quick and efficient in securing our new head men's basketball coach. We wanted to be able to finish this search no later than the end of the national championship game. I can tell you we received hundreds and hundreds of emails and phone calls and text messages in a very short period of time. And when I say that, it's about 72 hours. It was pretty crazy when you're looking to hire a head men's basketball coach. And everybody in the country really is looking to have an opportunity to become a head coach at a school like the UTRGV. You know, it was about a 15-day search. You know, we had used a search firm, turnkey search. We had an individual named Gene DiFilippo who assisted us along in that search. And I can tell you, we went very, very fast, and we had a deep pool of candidates. This was a coveted job. I will tell you, in regards to the pool, it was from conferences, Power 5 conferences all over the country, and I can tell you that one man rose above the rest, and we're very excited about having Lou Hill as our next head men's basketball coach. I do have a number of people to thank. In regards to the search, I want to start with the search committee. Two individuals who worked their tails off, Farrah Monti, who's our Senior Associate AD, Senior Women's Administrator, and serves as our Sport Administrator. Vince Volpe, who's our Deputy Director of Athletics and Chief Operating Officer. They spent an awful lot of time in that 15 days in dealing with HR, dealing with the interview setup, and as well as vetting and researching a lot of the candidates. So I want to thank both Farrah and Vince for your involvement in the search. Thank you. As I indicated, we used the search firm Turnkey Sports. They helped us facilitate the search in a very efficient and expedited manner. I do want to personally thank Gene DiFilippo. He has over 20 years experience as an athletic director at both Boston College and Villanova. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that back up. But his experience and ability to get the athletic directors and basketball coaches across the country was very tremendous in us being able to get a pool very quickly. And we were about a week ahead of schedule in announcing this final search. And so we're very excited to have Turnkey as part of this process. We couldn't have done it without him, and so I thank Gene and their team. I do want to thank two individuals. One just walked in the door. You can't do a search without a good HR department. Mike James, our Director of HR, and their staff helped us a tremendous amount in facilitating this process. Karen Adams, who's our Chief Legal Officer, from day one until even today in the contract negotiations. The two of them are great ambassadors for this university in both those respective areas, and I want to thank both Mike and Karen for your assistance in this process. Of course, I've got to thank my wife, Alicia King, who's our Associate Vice President for Development here at the university as well. In a 15-day search, that means I probably spent anywhere from 16 to 18 hours a day on this search, and what was unique about it was the fact that her in-laws were here for 11 days. And so she had to spend an awful lot of time with the in-laws while I didn't. And so I'm sorry and thank you. We do have two special guests here today. I want to recognize head coach Lon Kruger and his wife Barb, head coach at University of Oklahoma. They flew in today just to be here with Lou and his family on this special occasion. I think a lot of you know Coach Kruger was the head coach here from 1982 to 1986. So it's been about 30 years since he was here. But what he's done since then is just tremendous. He's been the head coach at 5 different Division I institutions. He's the only head coach in Division I history that's won a tournament, NCAA tournament game at 5 different institutions. He's one of 4 active coaches in Division I that's been to 3 Elite Eights, and of course, he's been to 2 Final Fours, including the Final Four this past weekend. And so we can't thank the both of you enough for being here in attendance. I do want to tell a quick story before I turn it over to Doc Bailey. Coach Kruger called me 24 hours after we made a decision to move in a different direction and hire a new head men's basketball coach, and he says, "How can I help?" He's 48 hours away from the first round of the NCAA Division I tournament, and here's a guy who's contacting me wanting to know how he can help. We talked a little bit. We talked about the investment this university's made in this men's basketball program. We talked about the new 9,000-seat arena that we'll move into in the 2017 season. And he says to me, he says, I've got your guy, but let me get back to you. 8 hours later, he calls me back and he says, I want you to hire Lou Hill. And I'd already gave you all the accolades and his background. It's kind of hard to go against him. And I know your agent's here, but that is your #1 agent right there, Coach Kruger, no doubt about it. Some of the things he told me about Coach Hill, the strong character, the strong value system that he has, the ability to develop meaningful relationships and connections with the student athletes, those are what we were really looking for in our next head coach. And so, Coach, thank you so much. I appreciate that you're allowing us to steal one of your best assets from your Final Four team, but I can't be any more excited about having him on board, and want to thank both of you. I'd like to personally thank our president, Dr. Guy Bailey. We've worked together now for the past 2 years. His support and advice throughout this process has been immeasurable. You're only as good as your president, and any good athletic director will tell you that. We spent an awful lot of time with the final candidates. He spent an awful lot of time. His vision and ability to articulate the future of this university and where our athletics program was going really was a big reason in Coach Hill deciding on becoming the next head men's basketball coach. So thank you very much, Dr. Bailey.
My pleasure.
With that said, I want to be able to turn the mic over to Dr. Bailey to say a few words on behalf of the institution.
First of all, I want to thank all of you for being here today, and I want to thank you on behalf of the 9th largest university in the state of Texas, 28,500 students last fall. I think this coming fall we will be the 8th largest university in the state of Texas with more than 29,000 students. We are a growing, dynamic institution. As you know, we officially opened our doors last August. We've had a number of red letter days, significant days in the history of the institution. This is one of them. This is an important day. You'll look back on this and you'll think this is one of the great days in the early history of this institution. I've been doing jobs like this for a while now and had the opportunity to interview a number of different coaches, and I've never met anybody more impressive than Lou Hill. We had dinner. I went home and I thought, we got a coach. We got our coach. And so Chris and I touched base, and you know, I thought this is a guy who can help us get where we want to go, where we can go with integrity, do this program right, and win. I have absolute confidence in him. It's interesting. Of course, I spent some time in the Big 12, and so I got lots of contact. I had a lot of people from the Big 12 office contact me, coaches, associate ADs, people from around the Big 12 saying, this is a great guy, this is a character guy, a great coach. I can't tell you how widely his support is, how broad his support is. He's a tremendous man. He's a great recruiter, great coach. You guys are going to love him. It's great to see the team here. And by the way, I should thank the women's team as well. They had a great year, and we appreciate your support, other athletes here. What I think you're going to find is the entire university coming together behind our athletics program. It's very significant. I want to point out some people. This is our Chief Academic Officer here today. Our Chief Advancement Officer is here today. My Chief of Staff and our VP for Operations is here today. You mentioned our legal counsel is here today. The entire university is coalescing behind this hire and behind our athletics. I think we've got a great future. You're going to see great basketball next year. You're going to come out and see the women play well. You're going to come out and see the men play well. We've got a terrific future, and we've got the right guy to lead us. So, Coach Hill, your family, welcome. It's great to have you here. I look forward to working with you for many years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me just take a minute or two to talk a little bit about Coach Hill. You know, after conducting a national search, you know, as I indicated, we identified our #1 candidate, and we got him. He's been part of 3 Power 5 institutions, Texas A&M, UNLV, and the University of Oklahoma. Some of the statistics that just kind of go off the chart a little bit is, you know, he's worked for Coach Kruger now for 12 years at both UNLV and the University of Oklahoma. It's pretty amazing. They have almost a 700 winning percentage at both those institutions over the past 12 years. What's a remarkable statistic to me is over the past decade, 9 of those 10 years, they've had 20-plus win seasons, which is kind of unheard of in the college basketball industry. And there's only a few schools in the country that can really talk about that kind of level of success. When we were looking at Coach Hill, one of the things that as Dr. Bailey expressed that came out is his high character, his strong value system, the kind of person he is. I talked about his ability to develop meaningful relationships and connect with the student athletes, which was one of the key ingredients we were looking for in our next head coach. You know, he's one of the top recruiters in the nation, and most importantly in the state of Texas, including, which is very important to us, is in the cities of Houston and Dallas. And anyone that knows college basketball knows that the lifeblood of your team is your recruiting. And so we're getting one of the best recruiters and one of the best coaches in the country. And I can't tell you that I'm any more excited. He'll talk about his style of play. It's something I'm excited about. I mean, he was passionate and pumped up at dinner the first night when we had dinner with Renee and Dr. Bailey, and talking about the up-tempo attacking offense and defensive style. And it's an exciting brand of basketball. We watched some of that in the Final Four. And so I can't be any more excited to announce Lou Hill is our next head men's basketball coach at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley.
Wow, that was great. That was a great introductory. I'm excited to be here today, and thank you guys for coming out and joining me. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Dr. Bailey and Chris King for giving me this opportunity. It's been a long journey. I've been doing this for quite some time. I won't tell you how long, because then you'll know my age. So I don't want to tell you that. And then he gave me an orange jersey. I have to get used to that. For 5 years, we didn't like orange. You know, when you at Oklahoma, it's crimson, and you know that other school, I don't know the name of it, is orange. So I have to get used to that, and I give my kids a chance to think about it, because I brainwashed them not to like orange. But now, my wife, who loves orange, says I get to wear my orange dress now. But we'll get it together. We'll get it together. But it's just an honor to be here. I mean, I see Coach Kruger. I remember when he came down the tunnel, and you got to know Coach Kruger. He was talking to me about the job, and I was like, I don't know, Coach. I don't know. So he went back. He talked to Chris and came back and talked to me and said, they want to win. And that's very important to me. He said, they want to win. And when you're taking a job, because I had a great job with a great head coach, it's hard to leave it. So you got to make sure you're going into a great situation. And when he sold me, I remember we was getting ready to practice for the going into the NCAA. He had me so fired up, I was half concentrating on practice and what he had just told me. So then a few days later, Chris calls me, and I'm usually energetic, but he had more energy than me. I said, I'm with it. So I said, Coach, let's go to work. Let's get the job done. So it's been fantastic. It's been a great run, and, you know, I'm really, really excited. And I keep mentioning Coach Kruger because he's been a great mentor to me. And this is where he started at. So I want to follow in his footsteps. And the one thing I know that we haven't done yet, man, we have never been to an NCAA tournament. So guess what? That's the only thing. I don't like spring breaks. I haven't been on a spring break in a long, long time. So guess what? We got to change that, okay? And like I told you all on my interview, the winning starts today. And the winning is just not X and O's. It's just building the culture. It's building the character. It's building the positive beliefs that we have to have. It's a family atmosphere. Everything we do It's about family. We got to learn to love each other, care for each other, share. And all these little words, these adjectives that I'm giving, this is what I talk about all the time. This is what we learned at University of Oklahoma and UNLV since I've been with Coach Kruger for 12 years. He's the best at building programs. So I learned from the best. I have the blueprint. Now I just have to get you guys to buy into the blueprint, and we're going to have a lot of fun. You know, and last night I was at the game, the Vapors game, and I started getting it. Vipers. I'm sorry. But the excitement that was around the crowd was crazy. So I was sitting there thinking, Chris was talking to me, and I'm thinking about how can I pack this arena, you know, and I'm sitting there saying, he said, well, this is usually how the crowd is. I said, that's not good enough. We got to make this the best home court advantage in the country, not just in the WAC. We got to dream big. We got to think big. If we just think about the WAC, then that's not good enough. We got to be the Cinderella team. You know, when people get to the NCAA, that we're knocking off the big guys. You know, that's how we got to think. And if you don't think that way, then you're at the wrong spot. So young men, get ready for a great ride and enjoy it. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be very positive, though. You know, not looking to the bench, worried about getting taken out. Only time you're going to get taken out if you don't hustle and play hard and dive on the floor, take charges. All the little things that help you win championships. You understand? And I like to thank everybody for coming out, especially the women's team. And I know that you guys are really, really good. And I hear that Final Four is in your near future. So congratulations on that. And to Coach Tidwell, thank you. He took me to lunch when I was here, him and Manny, and told me a lot of crazy stories. But I'll go with that. I'll go with that. They're funny guys, and and they took me to a great pizza place too. So, but seriously, we're going to play an attacking style, and that's what I told Chris when we came. I said I want to lead the country in steals, defensive field goal percentage, and rebounding. And if you do those things, you win a lot of games. And then I want to just attack offensively and defensively. That's what we do. If you watched our games this year, besides the last one, you see that we was probably the most fun team in the country to watch. You know, we had the best player in the country, but our supporting cast was pretty good too. So we're gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna take what I learned from Coach Kruger, put it into my own personality, and have a lot of fun. And we're gonna fill this arena up, and just be patient with us a little bit. But while you're being patient, you're going to see it. You're going to start seeing the way we play, how hard we play, and the passion that we play with. And just sooner or later, you're going to start seeing the winning. The wins will start coming. But our guys going to do it the right way. They're going to go to class. I told them I don't have a lot of rules. Coach Kruger didn't have a lot of rules. But the rules I have, we're going to follow them. We're going to go to school. We're not going to sit in the back. We're going to take our headphones off. It's called respect. Okay? And I tell them, all the professors, that's all they want from athletes is respect. You know, if you're close to a C or D and they seen you done well and worked hard, they'll give you a benefit of the doubt. So that's what we're going to preach, you know, and when we're inside the building, we're going to take our hats off. I'm teasing. But it's just about building a culture. And the X and O's is the last place it starts. It's just building from within. And that's where the winning starts. We're going to win off the floor and on the floor. And in the community, we're going to be in the community. We're going to be out there. We're going to be in the boys' clubs, the hospitals, the YMCAs. I don't know everything that they have in the Valley, but anything community related, we're going to be out there. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be accessible to any of you guys, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. But now let me slow down a little bit and introduce and my family, who's been with me. Chris called me, and Coach was on one side, but I got a shadow that was right in my mouth. And I'm not going to, and he's like touching me. What'd he say? What'd he say? What'd he say? I said, can I talk to him, please? Which is my son. I think besides me being excited, he was more excited than anyone. And to my L, my sweet mama, and to my backbone, my wife. And, you know, there, I heard Jay Wright talk the other day about your wives. And I know what Miss Kruger been through, and I know what my wife go through, because sometimes half the time I'm not home. They got to hold the fort down. So I appreciate that, and I never take that for granted. And we're going to build a great staff. I have one of my, we're going to retain Jay Stedman, who I've been knowing. I'm going to tell you a little story. I take credit in some of Jay's development, because I used to have a lot of conversations on the phone with him. You know, like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you got to do it this way. But he's learned, and just to see him where he is today is awesome. I don't know, your wife is here, Sally? Okay. And we bring in Luke McKay, and his wife Sarah is here today. Luke is from Australia. He was with us on staff at Oklahoma, does a great job, and is going to be really great in the community. You guys are going to love him. I mean, his personality is awesome. He's a magnet. So you're just going to draw to him, okay? But this whole situation is good. I mean, people saying, Lou, it's a tough job. It's a tough job. That's why they want me. That's why I want them. It's a match. We're a match made for each other. That's where I come from, you know, tough. Nothing was ever easy. So guess what? We're going to have fun building this thing, and then we're going to make you guys really, really proud. And in the Valley, I can't wait. You know, I've seen a video. What was the young man who made the video?
Dakota Slaughter.
Oh, he's awesome. I seen the video, and it had me pumped. I was ready to start coaching right then. And when he started doing the V's up, I was like, okay. So, but the whole thing with all this is the fun that we're gonna have a change in the product around here. You know, we're gonna be awesome. I mean, you guys, I can't wait to get you on the floor tomorrow. You know, and start working you and running you and teaching you and coaching you, because like I told you, the losing stops now. The winning begins. And if you guys will ride with me, which I hope, we're going to do some special things for this community, for this university, and we're going to show people in the WAC that we're not doormats anymore, okay? I'm not a long-winded guy. I had great conversations with Dr. Bailey and Chris in the interview because I'm intimate. But this has been fun. Also, I have 3 other daughters that's not here that I want to mention to them. Erica, Asia, Sierra. I love you guys. I love you. V's up.
Well, we would like to thank everybody for their attendance today. For members of the media, Dr. Bailey, Coach Kruger, Coach Hill, and myself will be available for Q&A up here at the stage. For those, the fans, supporters, former players, if you want to move out to the lobby area, kind of congregate a little bit, meet Coach Hill's wife and family. We'll be out there very shortly to meet and greet with each of you. Thank you again for your attendance today.
Thank you.
Okay. See you again.